less. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, 'cause that's what it takes.
We got to stop that shit. So, everybody, welcome. We are going to have an amazing show today. Sorry. I could not cancel the show because you know what? Everybody's been wanting to hear her story. And also, I have, hold on, I got to fix I'm not prepared yet. So, on the YouTube side, if your quality is bad, click on that little gear, go up and look at 1080p. Okay, and you guys please be on the lookout. So, because we'll get this. So let me go down the list really fast. Let me say hello to everybody. You guys are coming in so fast. You're coming in fast and hot. Holy shit. We got Gidgy in the house. We got Nerdwitch. Welcome. We got the Caboose Show. Adrian, what's up? We got Rain. I got to keep going down. Damn, you guys were chatting away. Thank you for doing that. We got Terry Charms, Life and Beyond. We got Corinne. Corinne's in the house. We got Noodles. Noodles is here. Welcome. We got David S. Vingman. How are you, David? Thank you guys all for coming in. Oh, right there we got my nephew, Shasta County Paranormal. I gotta give him a mod because he's my nephew. Great kid. Great investigator. Okay, we got keep going down. Oh, I'm not even on top chat. Shit. I'm probably Okay, we got Dottie, Mrs. Solo. And I said Adrian, and we got Hey Orange, welcome. We got Andrew S. What's up? Welcome, you guys. I'm still going down. Oh, I think I hit the bottom. No, I didn't. I did not hit the bottom yet. Damn. Come on. Gosh. So many people. Too Cool for Banshee is in the house. Oh my gosh. All you wonderful people. We got Porn Cop. So welcome, you guys. Welcome. Oh my gosh. We got Tony. Hey, Tony, what's up? I love it when you guys sit there and chat with each other while you're waiting for the show. We got Adventures with Beth. She's in the house. We got Roger Little Bunny. How you doing? Okay. I think I'm at the bottom. And you know what? Okay. So I got a co-host today. You guys, I tested positive. Jay and I both tested positive for COVID last night. So it's just been kind of a crazy fucking thing. Hey, Pamela, welcome. So let me go ahead and bring up, guess who's my co-host today? We have Mr. Howard Stern, the water boy.
How's it going, everyone? I got to behave.
Welcome. I know that this is a serious show. We got to be serious. No, we don't. So we've been throwing out her link and stuff. We got 32 people in the house. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. This is amazing. And we'll be dropping her links too. Oh God, I should have talked to Beth about dropping her links. She's amazing at it. Okay, hey Beth, here's one link. This is Lumi's link. If you can put this in your thing. Beth, this is Lumi's link. If you take that, you guys follow Lumi too, please. And you guys will meet Lumi also. And then her channel, Michelle's channel is, I got to pull that one up. I'm sorry. Again. Hey, Derek, how you doing? Welcome. Yep, tested positive. Yep, I got the little thingy right here. It sucks. Second time in less than a year. Yeah. Hey, Donna Ranky, welcome. And then Michelle's channel. We're going to talk to Michelle first. She's a great content creator. She's someone like we've never seen before, and she's actually into the paranormal too. And she was afraid to talk to other people about it because, like everybody thinks we're Kitty. I just said hi, Tiger Kitty. I hope it's a mild C word. Hey, Ashley. I forgot where I was going with this. And Beth, here's the other link. Here's Michelle's. If you can do that for me, Beth, I really appreciate it.
She was scared to. I think that's where you was going with that.
Yeah, yeah. Because people, you know how people would sit there and say, you know, you guys are crazy. You don't hear things. You don't see things. So yeah. So hey, Christina Bell, welcome. Okay, so without further ado, let's bring up the Miss Michelle Marie Delaney.
How you doing, guys? Welcome.
Hi, Michelle.
We're supposed to welcome you, Michelle.
We got Anthony on. How are you doing? I am so honored to have you on my show today. Have you ever been on other people's shows before?
Yeah, I have. I've been on Noodles channel a couple times.
Well, Noodles don't count. I count. It's my interview.
The only show I've been on that I can remember. I've called in radio shows in the past when I was young, but not for a whole podcast type of thing.
Really? Okay, so this would be your first podcast,
right?
Tiger Kitty's giving you some hearts.
Sherry Jackson, when we did an interview, but I was hosting it at the time, so it's a little different. So because you're not feeling too well, I'm sure you might want to try to, get things done, within a reasonable period of time before your voice fails you.
Right? Well, that's why we got Mr. Hubbard. What, Jay?
Yeah.
Jay?
Yeah.
Jay was just here. He says his lips are blue. I don't know. We got Kay. Kay is in the house. Richard Benedict. Rick from Florida. We miss you. Hey, Richard, how you doing? We got 39 people in the house on both YouTube and Facebook. And the people who are on Facebook look like this. Where'd he go?
They look like this.
Yeah, like that right there. See, it'll show the little Facebook symbol when I pop it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if we were restreaming to other platforms, definitely you'd be able to see that. Like whatever platform you're restreaming from. So, Michelle, it's been a long week for me because I've been so excited. And, tell us about yourself. We'll get to Lumi first. Oh, you know what? Let me introduce Lumi to you guys while we have Michelle. So, you guys, like I said, this is Michelle Marie Delaney. And her second soul is Lumi and Finisstraw. And she also has her own YouTube. And Lumi, hi.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Welcome,
I have
Lumi.
no channel there. And I've been married to Michelle since May 1st, 2011.
But
yes,
how old are you? How old are you, Lumi?
I'm 187 years old.
So see, you guys will leave that at that. Let's go back to Michelle. Oh my God, thank you, Stan. He said, "Good evening, PDX Howard, Michelle, chat. Looking forward to a great interview." Thank you, Stan. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so Doodles the same, Michelle. This is epic. Yes. Okay, so Michelle, when I came into your chat that one day, and you noticed my name had paranormal on it, and you brought me up on your panel pretty much instantly, and we started talking. And how did you get into the paranormal? Not Lumi yet, but how did you get into the paranormal?
Well, honestly, ever since I was very young, I've always been interested in what happens after you die. Mm-hmm. And life on the other side. Of course, I was born and raised originally as a Lutheran. Not my choice. I became Catholic later, but that's another story.
That could be another episode.
I went ahead and, we go to Sunday school and we read Bible stories. And there's something about the Bible stories that kind of amazed me, especially when they were talking about what vaguely the Bible's talking about with heaven. And one of the questions is, remember, from a 5-7-year-old mind is, where is this place? Now, how come I can't see it? But yet, there's some reason Lumi at the time was my spirit guide. And she said, you can't see it because it's not on the same plane that you're on. I said, so does it exist? She said, yeah, it exists. What's it like? And we started talking about it a little bit as we grew up. I grew up. And she was already an adult. Obviously, she's 187 years old, so she certainly was an adult.
Right.
And so we got into it, and I started to read books by Sylvia Browne and others. And I read also Robert A. Heinlein's Job, a Comedy Addresses, which is kind of funny. It's a sci-fi comedy that I thought was very interesting. It talked about existentialism. The fact is that we can continue, and I believe it also has something called transcendentalism too. At least I've read. I used to watch a lot of weird stuff as a kid. I still do today. A lot of sci-fi fantasy movies like Ghost Dad, things like that. Defending Your Life. Those are 3 movies I watched. Of the 3 movies I mentioned, I love is the Defending Your Life, which is more likely what happens on the other side. Is that you go through an intake process, if you want to call it that.
Mm-hmm.
Where they determine how much what did you learn in your last incarnation on Earth? Because for me, to believe in only one life made no sense, because it's like, wait, you only get one time to get it right? That's it? Only one time? What if you make a mess? What if you fail?
Right.
And then I started getting into reincarnation, and I said, well, what if there's more than one life? Because even, I believe it was in the book of Tobit that God said, for I knew you before you were born. Wait a minute. If you knew me, is what he told Tobit. If you know me before I was born, that means that I must have been here before. Of course, God creates everybody. So, but do we only have one time on Earth? If we did, then why do we have ghosts? And so I got into that, and I discovered that ghosts, for example, or people who chose to remain on Earth for whatever reason. And I thought it was really interesting because, why would you want to stay on Earth? There's nothing really here to stay on Earth for. But some people feel that they must stay on Earth because some people are taught, unless you live a perfect life, that you're doomed to the fires of hell. And I said to myself, that doesn't make sense. Jesus didn't talk about us doomed to the fires of hell, except the most incorrigible ones. So I just kept going through, studying the topic over and over, researched it more and more. And one document that kind of explains my faith system is a document I wrote when I was in high school called The Circle of Life, which I wish I had. I don't know where it went now. It discusses that the positive and negative entities, when we come on Earth, we align with one side or the other side. Where the positive entities, the most pure of all light, the most white of white is Godhead, the Godhead, which is Father Yahweh and Mother Asda. And Jesus, of course, is your son on the spiritual level, and Jesus is also my brother on the spiritual level too. And so I got into this, and I never stopped learning about it. And I've been trying to raise my vibration ever since, but my vibration's always been rising since I was 5 years old, because it's always asking questions with boldness.
And okay, have you seen apparitions or shadows, or when you were younger, did you have like an imaginary friend you talked to?
No, I only had Lumi.
Well, you didn't have Lumi till 2011.
But that still confused my mother pretty bad.
Okay, so everybody's saying hello, welcome. And would you say you're an empath?
I am an empath. I can pick up emotions, people and animals. And I can also feel the earth vibrations through my feet.
Yep. We were talking about that.
And I could hear the soft roar of the Earth engine as the Earth goes around and around.
And how
Which
about
is
this?
very different than tinnitus, which lately I haven't had much tinnitus at all, but that's because I'm not taking something that's an ototoxic medication, which I think is helping with the hearing a bit too.
Okay.
Thank God we need it.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if a lot of people know this too, but you are legally blind and deaf. Is that
Yes, registered blind,
yes?
yeah.
And has this been your whole life, or
All my whole life, yeah, pretty much. I was diagnosed in 1973. I was only 5 years old when I was diagnosed. But because I've always been legally blind all my life, I've always planned in case the inevitable event of ever happened to lose my sight completely, which I think was good because when I got a cataract in my right eye, I had to use my left eye for everything. It's funny because originally I trained for my other way,
right?
thinking I was going to lose my right eye or my left eye, but I was losing my eyesight in my right eye. So everything I do around here is tailored around my eyesight.
Yeah.
Including
I've
my
also,
studio set up here.
I've
Let
also
me ask you
seen
this.
Go
I'd
ahead.
like to ask this with being blind and everything. Do you think, you said pretty much it was your whole life, do you think with having two souls might have something to do with that? Because when you lose one
I don't think
feature,
so, because if you think about it, Lumi got the bum deal out of the package. She's on the right side. She's on the right side of the body. I'm on the left side.
Gotcha.
Lumi's
Yeah,
blind
you
as
got the
hell.
bum knee. Yeah, I know. I got the bum knee. All right, so and the bum hip. She got the bum eyes. Bum eye. I got the bum hip. Yeah.
Lumi had to put her to bed the other night on New Year's Eve. she kind of got a little tipsy.
Oh, Michelle was out there she was out there running it. I see now. Okay.
She was
At
a little
least I was able to get Michelle's legs at least to walk in the right direction.
right, Lumi.
I
Imagine
just
that.
cover something else, something that I've read about, but it's really not quite how it works with us. Something called stand-in souls, or souls that walk in and take over a body, usually with voluntary permission. Whereas in my case, which when Michelle was kind of like the Abigail and Brittany Hensel, because we're like conjoined twins.
Mhm.
So things I do with my right hand, Michelle can't directly control her right hand that well because I control that.
Right.
I can't control Michelle's left hand because Michelle pretty much runs her left hand. So kind of like quietly say to each other back, raise your hand, put your hand down, or whatever.
You know what? I'm curious. I didn't mean to cut you off. Okay, so when you have to sign your name to something, does Lumi sign her name and then you use your left, Michelle, you use your left hand to sign your name, or does one of you just do it?
We gotta coordinate because we can temporarily take control of the other side of the body. Because remember, this body was operated by me up until May 1st, 2011. So with the Lumi's control, I can take control of the body completely, but it's really awkward. But
Unless
unless
you're
no
a little
problem.
tipsy, then Lumi gets ya. So,
And likewise, if I'm too tipsy, then Lumi, if it really got bad enough, Lumi could take the whole body over and go, I'm driving this car.
you can use your sound bites too, Michelle.
Yeah.
We love to hear those sound bites. And we got 42 people in the house.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
You guys,
Put that on that screen. Yay! I got
nice.
You got
Hey,
it.
Gemma. Hey,
Hey.
Andrew.
Right,
And
cool.
thumbs up. You guys, please share this out. Michelle and Lumi want to get their story out. And let me ask you, Michelle, how long have you been alive or, on the internet streaming your life and stuff? A content creator.
How long have I been streaming YouTube live shows? Well, let me start with Coffee with Lumi and Michelle around 2015 in September.
Okay.
About that. And those early shows were very simple. We were just sitting on the couch with all the plushies, all the stuffies, and then we had a phone. The hearing was a little bit better then, and we would try to get phone calls. The first like 30 shows, we really didn't get any phone calls at all.
Oh my God. Hold on. I didn't mean to cut you off. She did shows. She hasn't got back to it, but Howard, people would call into her show. She had it set up to do that.
Yeah. We were doing that for a long time, even when my hearing started to deteriorate. But until some people started getting really, really nasty. And then so we stopped the live show phone calls. The other reason was our phone interface is not working right now. It's kind of needs to be fixed. So I need to make some repairs to it to get it working again. But we already had given up the phone line, so there's really no phone line for people to call in on.
Do you think maybe in the future that may happen again or something? Is that a thought you guys got?
Maybe. I don't know.
Cool.
On Kick, it's a possibility because on Kick we do the public Google Meet link, EJT, so that people can join us on Kick, because Kick doesn't have to worry about people being hypersensitive about people saying nasty words and stuff like that. Plus, of course, with the Google Meets, we got the built-in closed caption decoder, so I can read the closed captions on the screen. Then I found that Google Chrome had the feature too. That's what I'm using here with the StreamYards to read this chat.
Beth has a good question. I asked you this the other day because I was like, how the hell does this happen? So Beth says, all I can think of is if you get into an argument, how do you walk away to cool down? Leave it to me to think. I asked her that the other day. So yes, Beth, we're on the same crazy mind. So tell them how you and Lumi resolve things.
Well, since physically we can't physically separate, that'd be something like the Fonz would say, "Hey, let's split." Yeah, I wish we could, but it doesn't work that way.
Right?
Basically, we'll just quietly just agree not to talk to each other for a while. Me or Michelle could both temporarily leave the body as long as there's somebody there to keep an eye on things. So, like when I got upset with Michelle over meditation we had of our future lives, and Carmen Miranda was just incarnating with us in Silver Moon. There was a one of those tribute singers on stage doing a song by Vic Dana, which is Red Rose for Blue Lady, and Carmen goes out to Michelle and says, "Would you mind if I ask you to dance?" And she said, "Yeah." And I just come in with my husband, and they were up there, just passionately dancing with each other, on the dance floor. And I got so upset, I ran into the ladies' room because I couldn't stand the fact that Michelle was dancing with another person. And as me and Michelle were both watching this, Michelle could see my frustration, and her character could too, but Michelle could see it. And she said, "What's wrong with him?" "You're dancing with Carmen Miranda, like cheek to cheek."
Oh, cheek to cheek.
Married to another guy. Yeah, but Mommy, I told her, I said, "Do you realize that in the next life, you and I are going to be completely separate people? You have chosen, you wanted in your life chart to marry this guy that was involved in the Council of Mages. You wanted to be among somebody that was in the political arena. But I didn't realize the guy just saw me more like a trophy wife. Oh. He didn't like me at all. He didn't love me for what I was. He just wanted me to be his trophy wife that he could parade around at conventions.
Right.
And when I could see what was going on with my future self and how upset she was getting. And I'm like, does Carmen Miranda really feel that way with Michelle or not? And because Carmen Miranda just recently started seeing us this year, because ever since Michelle played Chicka Chicka Boom Chick, next thing you know, Carmen Miranda's like, "That's my song I'm playing." "Oh, I like your song," I said. I said, "Well, maybe you might like some of my other stuff I've done." So we started watching some of Carmen Miranda's, like Weekend in Havana. We saw, let's see, Greenwich Village. We watched the Cocabana.
Cocabana?
Cocabana, right, that's what it was. And I have to admit, I like Carmen Miranda. She's kind of fun. Um, so I asked Carmen Miranda. I said, "Well, we're writing a life chart for our next life on Earth because she's not incarnating on Earth right now. Would you like to go with us?" She said yes. And I said, "Cool." Also, we asked Whitney Houston. She wants to go with us too, because right now she's teaching a few. A dancer's on the other side, but she said that she wants to come back, but she doesn't want to come back to Earth. She wants to come someplace different. So we're all going to Silver Moon together as a soul tribe, which is something that people don't realize, that people tend to hang out together, just like just a clique, like a clique you have in school, right?
Right.
The girls that like each other, they stick around, hang out, do things as a team. We got a few guys in the group too. I don't know everybody, at least not on this level, but I know a few names. I have a strong hunch that Noodles is part of our soul tribe. He may not realize that Stan CT may also be.
I don't mean to interrupt you. What is your Kick channel so I can put that out there? It's Kick.
It's http://www.kickcom/BICHELA. It's the same as my Facebook.
I got CRS. Remember, I had the
BICHELA.
So, Beth, I'm going to give you another link. If you could please drop this down for Michelle. Definitely get that out there.
I can type it for you if you want.
I got it. It's okay.
You got a good Facebook question on there.
Okay. So let me type it in the private chat so you can put it out there.
I got it, Michelle. I went right to it.
Okay, great. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to seeing more people here. So, yes, and it's the same also with Facebook, except it's www.facebook.com. And the same with Twitch. And the same thing with X or Twitter.
Oh, yeah, she's got Twitch, too. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so you guys, you hear that? Twitter and Twitch, it's still the same. At the end, it's /BICHELA. So please, you guys definitely give her a follow there. Is this the question you're looking at, Howard?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So Nikki Cameron says, what advice would you give to people that's just getting into the paranormal field? Ooh.
What's it now? I was just looking at the chat there.
That was Nikki on Facebook asking. Well, let's ask, who's more into the paranormal? Michelle, are you or is Lumi?
I would say it's for both of us equal.
Okay.
I think Michelle knows as a spirit guide. I'm a little more got a fresher memory of what goes on the other side. But she's always asking questions, and I'm always giving answers. But now, because Mother God which is Mother Asna, is our spirit guide, as under our soul contract here, she is both of our spirit guide. Yep, Mother God directly helps maintain our contact with the other side. So when Lumi came here to Earth, she's no longer my spirit guide anymore. She's my wife. Yeah.
So what advice would you give people then if they're just getting into the paranormal field?
Well, be aware there's a lot of information out there that sometimes seems confusing and conflicting. I would say if you watch enough of the content, you might start to see that there's a common consensus. But I think basically, because nobody's wrong, nobody's necessarily right, is each person will come about their own opinions on their own. But there are some things that have been the common denominator in many, many of the videos I've seen about the other side. And that is, the first thing is that divine source, mother and father God love you. And they want you to have a nice, positive experience with the other side. Because there is a lot of people, particularly, especially in a lot of churches, that are telling you, you die, you go to heaven, or you go to hell, and that's it. That's not the case. That's not the way it completely works at all.
Right.
And that's the first thing I think that throws a lot of people for a loop, because they're taught that. And it doesn't make any sense why a loving God would want to send his creations to hell. It just doesn't make sense to me. But like Mother Angelica one time said, you put yourself in hell. Because you and Earth, a lot of people on Earth, everyday people don't understand the other side. So they're like saying is, oh, it's all phony baloney, it's all hocus pocus, it can't be true, it's too good to believe. So they don't believe. Think of it this way. Atheists have a faith system. Their faith system is that God does not exist. Agnostics have a faith system. They don't know if God believes that God exists or not. But they do believe that there might be something going on, but they're skeptical.
You got a question here.
It would be nothing more painful than to be totally separated from the Godhead.
The Caboose Show says, or it doesn't say, the Caboose Show asks, explain purgatory or being in limbo. Good question.
I think purgatory is kind of, I see it like a train station. Where you don't know when your train's coming. You keep looking at the ticket counter, looking at the board. Is it coming yet? Is it coming yet? But what it's really there for is like, you start to think about things that have happened in your life, and you ask yourself is, did I do something wrong? If so, how do I fix it? How do I make myself, appropriately ready for heaven?
Right.
And it still makes sense, even though it's mostly Catholic doctrine. It does make sense. It's just like, for example, like for these interviews, I went in the bathroom, I freshened up before I came out here. I put a touch of foundation on. That's when you kind of go through your life and go, what could I have done better? What could I have done worse? What about the people I said some bad things to that I now regret saying those things to? It's not meant to be hell. Like I said, people put themselves in hell. They actually choose that by not want to be blessed, be honest and forgive themselves for their stupidity. There's absolutely reality. That is such a common thing.
I mean,
evangelical churches that believe in predestination say, you don't know where God's going to put you, but God's already decided. So how do you know if you're living a good, chaste life, if you're going to go to heaven or hell? That doesn't make any sense, because why would God want to send his creations to hell?
Right.
Especially if they're doing their best to live a life as close as possible with what their church teaches them to be, like charismatic and loving and peaceful and kind. Why would he want to send them to hell? So the concept that Calvin's predestination makes no sense. Because, John Calvin was part of the Anabaptist church that said, oh, no. There is no purgatory. There is no confessions for your sins. There's no reconciliation. You're doing what God tells you to do. The works of free will, John Calvin. You're saying is we don't have free will. You're saying that God is going to choose our fate, regardless or not. I don't think that makes any sense.
No, it doesn't. I do have another question. Oh my God, my brain just broke. Hold on. I hate when that happens. Okay, so let's go back to when I came in your chat and you saw I had paranormal at the end of my name. And what advice would you give to people? Because you told me the reason why you never said anything to a lot of people because, they would look at you like you're crazy. Are you still going to say that? Or are you going to tell our fans maybe?
I think it's a valid concern, especially in this day and age where people that may have had spiritual experiences, for example, that people judge them weirdly because of that. However, as we are seeing that the energies of the fifth dimension are starting to come to Earth, because Earth has been locked in 3D. Originally, it was because it was a time of learning. This is a learning planet. This is like university. You come here to learn. It's how we get the skills we need of compassion and understanding. But some people don't really understand it. They think this is the end result. It's not. So we come here to learn and grow and be better citizens of the cosmos above. And incidentally, we didn't cover this, but maybe we might in another show more detail.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
a star child. I'm a Pleiadian star child.
What?
And that could take a whole nother show just all by itself, just to go through the Pleiadian concepts. So because you're not feeling the best, I'm not going to get into that right now unless you want to.
You know what? Howard, jump in and ask some questions, man. And anybody in the audience, I know there's several people in the audience. You know what? Anybody in our family down below, definitely jump in, ask her questions. Michelle is very transparent. We want to get to know her and let her know that she's actually in a safe place here, because we do talk about the paranormal. Majority of us are into the paranormal, or, we're enthusiasts of the paranormal. And I want to put some prayers out for Beth Bitts. Again, Beth, she's in the UK. She just lost her sister, New Year's. And so prayers to you, Beth, and thank you for stopping in. I appreciate this. I really do. And Bad to the Bone is in the chat. So, Howard, ask her some questions.
You wanted me to ask a question because you ran out of questions, didn't you?
No, I still got more questions. Why can't I see Bad to the Bone? Hold on. I'm trying to mod Bad to the Bone in my chat, but I can't find her.
I think Amy needs to rest her voice a little bit.
Yeah, so there you go. Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, I was listening to that recording earlier. That's what I was doing.
Yeah. I have Bad to the Bone blocked or something. No, there she is.
So tell us about it's not just that you're not just into the paranormal, you're also into the music as well. And I just learned that this afternoon. And you was telling us you love music from all the way from the 20s all the way to pretty much present day. So what would be I guess as a someone who I'm also a fan of music, what would be your favorite decade of music?
Favorite decade? I would have to say the big band era. I would say going back from just picking an even decade number, say 1930s to 1950s.
Oh yes,
which is 2 decades.
Yeah, because I love the 30s. I love the big band.
He came in a little later with Frank Sinatra, but not by much. Carmen Miranda loved her dancing. Freddie Rogers, Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire. Their dancing is cool. I love music like that. That makes you feel good deep down in your soul.
Yeah.
And in fact, we had a great fun time playing some music from the 1930s through the 1950s in Silver Moon Radio. All kinds of music by singers I never heard of before. And we did a 78 RPM show where we played 78s. And there was a whole bunch of 78s donated by Gemini Gem, and we just sat there and we played them on Silver Moon Radio. And also played them on our non-Silver Moon Radio show in Kick too. So we had a great time with that. And I think the other music eras I like is also music from the 1950s through the 1980s. Because I mean, there was a lot of good soft rock groups out in the 1970s, 1980s. The Carpenters, Air Supply, the Pretenders, and a few other artists, including the Starland vocal band. Everybody knows this Skyrockets in Flight. It was actually a really awesome song. When you realize they're talking about making love, and the Beatles, and some of the Rolling Stones, some Elvis. But the music I really detest is rap. I cannot get into rap. However, I did find a rap song from the 1960s that was absolutely mind-blowingly awesome. I loved it. It was just
a rap song from the 1960s?
Yes.
Wow.
We'll play it on my show sometime. It's really funny.
Okay. And by the way, thank you.
What's the name of that song? I'm going to go back and listen to that. What's the name of that?
I have to go back and look it up. It's on one of my record anthologies up here.
Okay.
I think it's on one of my 𝒲𝐼𝒯𝐻 set of albums.
Gemini Gems in here too. Look at this. And somebody had a question. Where'd it go? It was, oh my gosh. It was, I don't know why I clicked off of it. Bad to the Bone.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. You can.
Well, I was going to ask her if she was locked in a room by herself and had one album or one band or singer that she would have to listen to, what would be your favorite all-time rock?
I used to listen to a lot of Billy Vaughn.
Billy Vaughn. Okay.
Billy Vaughn was, as I said, kind of a later big band era from the late 50s, early 70s. His music was definitely awesome, very festive songs, like his from his Billy Vaughn Million Sellers album and the Sundowners album, which are the two albums I started out with. And I got into those when I bought old realistic amplifier, an SAF-24 vacuum tube amplifier and receiver, and my Garage 210 turntable. Of all the stuff, I still got the turntable, but the receiver and the tuner, I unfortunately ended up being tossed out when they foreclosed on my apartment. My landlord couldn't pay his mortgage because his father died. The amplifier needed to be recapped, and it was one of my favorites.
She gets into she's brilliant when it comes to this stuff, you guys. Like, we'll get into that too. But Bad to the Bone says, I think that as a Catholic, how do I get ready to meet God?
I'm a Catholic too, so I can tell you that.
I know.
Well, it's funny. Even at 5 years old, I told my mom, I said, Mom, I am not going to be confirmed a Protestant. I'm going to become a Catholic. And it was funny. She had to go through the Protestant catechism. And in 8th grade, I told the pastor nicely that this wasn't for me, and I left. I kind of gave my own version of 33 complaints, but I didn't get them in the church door in Wittenberg. I just explained it to him nicely in his office. And so I didn't come back. So I wasn't confirmed as a Protestant. So then I went through Christianization for adults in the Catholic Church. Finished my catechism, was confirmed as a Roman Catholic. Did my first communion, first confession in 1995. And I've been a Roman Catholic ever since.
Nice. Okay. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, Howard, start asking questions. I got to mute.
Wow. She just walks off. No, that was great. I mean, no, I'm Catholic as well. No, I'm a 3rd degree Knight of Knights of Columbus, so I know exactly, about the Catholic religion. And I guess the only way
blessed thing about the Catholic Church, and maybe cradle Catholics don't understand this, but from growing up from a Lutheran background, there's nothing more secret to me than the power of confession. I really love confession.
Well,
There's
see, that's
something
the thing.
special about going to a priest.
I'm a bad Catholic, so I mean, I know, I'm from New Orleans area, so I mean, of course, you have Mardi Gras, which is right before Ash Wednesday, so that's what we tell people. You go out there for
Well, the thing is, it's one of the things I tell people is we started on my channel originally giving spirituality, and Lumi still does it on her channel. Yeah, we still cover it. At least we used to until I started doing the live shows with Michelle, and then my channel kind of went dormant. But we were talking about the other side, heaven, hell, purgatory, redemption, God's love. And Michelle was doing that on her channel for a while. And some people were interested, but some people were like, yeah, she's in that case. So me and Michelle kind of got away from that for a while. But deep down, we still want to talk about it. Because it's so interesting, especially now when the new energy is coming in for 2024.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm a bad Catholic. I'm a bad Catholic, Michelle.
What's that?
I said I'm a bad Catholic.
Howard lies.
God loves you anyway. That's the most important thing.
I know, that's the most important thing. He as long as he loves me, and I love him. That's it.
He loves you, and his spirit is always working within you to make you a better person. You just have to be willing to listen.
Exactly.
And that's the thing that a lot of people think, oh, I'm incorrigible. God's going to put me in the incinerator, and that's going to be over. No, he doesn't want to burn you up. I mean,
I like how she says, he doesn't want to burn you up.
Yeah.
My friend Sarah that's in chat, she how you talk about the body. She calls our body just meat. Oh, what'd she say? It was, oh my God, just Sarah, what is it? Meat skins or something? Oh my God. It's funny how she says it because we're just borrowing this body. I stopped by saying I can't do the.
You're right. This body is this is like renting your body from God's rent a body. This body is for our time on Earth.
Meat suit.
Of course, when you turn the body in, it's like a lease. Except the difference is because by the time you get back to shop, your body is going to be all worn out and tired. And then, of course, God is going to deal with that and dispose of your old husk, and you're going to be given a new husk when you transcend and cross over to the other side. So doesn't mean you should treat the body badly, because remember, this is a loner. So you want to treat the body as best you can, because it shows responsibility to God that at least you want to do something. You want to take care of things as best you can. And but accidents happen, our body is temporary, it's transitory. So, don't get upset if you get bruises or you break a leg or something, even though you're being careful. God is not your insurance company. He's not going to go, I'm going to charge you for that injury. No, God doesn't do that.
Hey, I've got a question to ask Lumi.
The body is temporary. When you go home, you're made perfect. You're a perfect energy being.
So my question to Lumi.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Lumi is the oldest one here. And so Lumi, let's get to know you. Your name is Lumi and Fitness Draw. And where were you born and what year?
1835 in Stockholm, Sweden. February 11th.
February 11th. And how many times have you passed away, you said?
Well, I've passed away 32 times. This is my 33rd life. I'm with Michelle in this one.
Wow. Has Michelle been your longest relationship?
I would say so. We're married to Michelle. Been married since 2011.
Right. So, but you've never been married before, just Michelle.
Not that I can remember, no. 1835 to 1910, I was not married at all.
Okay. And Lumi, what do you like to do? Are you the one that's in the computers, or
that's Michelle's thing? When I help Michelle with them.
Okay. What do you like to do?
I like to read, watch videos and read news articles to Michelle, and listen to what others are saying about what's going on in the world. and the way they see it. And I mean, Michelle often will talk about what we're seeing on the news and stuff, and discuss how we can explain what's going on to people in a better way. It might be easier for some of them to understand it. Because we all know the
Right.
world can be very complicated, and there's a lot of things that some people don't understand how it all works. We also used to read a lot of books together too, but the eyes don't always seem to be cooperative for reading long texts.
How long did you live in Sweden before you?
I moved here moved from Sweden to Compi about 12 years old.
Okay. And another thing I want to ask Lumi, who, my brain, I hate this, projects. Help me out here, Howard. When they project the body,
Astral projection.
astral projection. Yes.
Yes, we do often. We often astral travel.
Okay, and who does it more, you or Michelle?
We do it together. We
Do it together?
and then we leave a little stub behind so that we can get back in a hurry.
Right.
We all talk about that cord that goes between the body and the spirit realm. So we can travel, and then if we need to, even though it's very discoordinate, we can go straight back home to the other side in a hurry. So that if someone knocks on the door or the phone rings, it's very disorienting to do that. We like to kind of come back home slowly, because we enjoy the trips. We do. Like, we see the future. We saw our future lives in Silverbone, and that's really fun to see that. And when you get to see yourself in the future and how you're interacting with people in the future,
That's crazy.
it's
Yeah.
pretty.
I got a question. I got a
Michelle
question.
in
Go
the
ahead.
future is part of a dance troupe with Carmen Miranda. Yeah, I'm part of her dance
That's
troupe.
that's what I wanted to ask you about. This is for both either Lumi or Michelle, or both can answer this question. Now, y'all sharing one body. Now, if you wasn't sharing that body, would Lumi and Michelle be together today?
What's that now?
Now,
Oh, we share the body again. Oh, it's decided for the next life that we're going to try separate people with separate bodies.
Okay. That's what I was wondering, how the relationship, is it a strong enough relationship where if you were in separate bodies, would you be together today, or would y'all be, you go your way and Lumi would go his, and Michelle
Next
go?
life we're going to be friends. That I'm going to try with another guy. Well, see, that was the original plan. And then I got so jealous that Carmen Miranda wanted to actually date Michelle, and I got upset about that. And so Michelle and I weren't talking to each other pretty much for half a day. I'm like,
Whoa.
and then we kind of realized wait a minute, this is the next life. We have control of our life chart now. We can amend it.
Right.
Because apparently I could see that my future myself was married to this guy that saw me more like a trophy wife. And I hated that. I hate seeing the future me being looked at almost as like a status symbol.
Okay, so that was the future Lumi.
Right. We were watching
Okay.
the future Michelle, yeah.
Okay, so but you guys are gonna try to stay together. How did you guys stop, Lulu? How did you and Lumi meet exactly?
Well, Lumi's part of my soul tribe. And she's part of the part of my my group, my clique from the other side. We have a few people that you could say is part of the group that sometimes incarnate together. And Carmen Miranda was invited to join our group. So now we had Carmen Miranda coming too. And Whitney Houston said she was interested in coming. So we have a pretty large group of people that tend to incarnate together. Of course, when I was married separately from Lumi in Montana when it was a territory, and Lumi at that point was barely born in Stockholm, Sweden. We were separate lives, completely separate. Also, World War II, Michelle was in the occupation of Paris. And one of the people that's in your chat was supposedly going to marry Michelle, but she was raped and murdered before he even got a chance to even propose.
Michelle was in her past life, or
My name is Michelle in my life in Paris. Yeah.
okay, okay, wow.
And when I died in 1846, I was born 1830. I was born. My name was Emma. I know what
Okay,
you're saying. That's fine. I get it.
I'm actually Emily, but everybody calls me Emmy. But that
Yeah.
is
I was
so
Swedish. I
awesome.
was a Swedish immigrant. Yeah.
Wow.
Me and my husband Sven, we owned a small cattle ranch in Montana, right outside of Billings.
And so Michelle, that's how many times you've been married then? Twice?
Yeah, I've been married twice. Once in a
Twice?
prior life, in
Okay.
this life. I've probably
Okay.
been married more than that. I think because, like, Shirley Jackson found out there was a life in between from when I died in 1846, shot point blank range by an angry fellow rancher with my daughter Abigail, who was only 5 years old at the time. He wanted no witnesses after he killed my husband. And
Oh
then
my.
because he didn't want to hang, so he killed us, and there'd be no witnesses. And I always wonder what happened to Abigail. She's around. See, right now, I'm
Let me
sure
ask,
she incarnated a few times.
so what do you do if you want me time? Because a lot of relationships want me time. I mean, you have to step back and just collect yourself. Think about how do you work that out?
Excuse me? I don't understand that one.
If you had
Are you-
if you wanted me time, saying like you just wanted time for
Oh,
yourself, how do
we
you
just,
how do you
we just kind of understand that. It's like we can kind of quietly close ourselves off from the other one. Like we kind of have a living room, if you will, kind of thing. We have our own bedrooms or rooms that we can go studies. So me and Lumi take time away from each other every so often. And but more often than not, we usually stay together. But sometimes we'll see like one of us will go, "Oh, I need some time to myself." Like when she got mad at me, she went in her study and closed the door and said, "Okay, don't bug me. I'm upset. I understood she's upset." So I was like, "Okay." And but like she would still, like I said, we can both take control of the wheel. So basically, in that case, because my body's in my name, I have access to all the controls to move the body around. But
okay,
it's normally something I kind of like to do with cooperative effort.
right?
Yeah. And you like fidgeting with the wheel, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's like what happens if one of y'all just say when y'all
Sure,
both
we
want
don't
me, and
show
it's
up
like
to them. Husky's a fidget spinner.
and if y'all get into an argument, one wants to walk away, and the other one says, "Oh no, I ain't finished with you yet." There's no way of getting out of that situation.
Yeah, Lumi's a little bit better social environment. So, like one time we went to the Danbury Fair Mall with Ed, I was totally overwhelmed with the thousands and thousands of people there because it was a Danbury Mall fair. So I'm like saying, Lumi's, here, you take the wheel. I'm going to duck out for the time being. So I ducked out. So Lumi took care of the body and drove it around. I was just passively watching in the back seat. You know, all the craziness. And I can't remember all the stuff. Oh, next to two of us. I remember it, but it wasn't that great. It was just lots and lots and lots of people around. And it was like, I remember we were all crammed into an elevator going to the second floor, and I had to push buttons. So I had to kind of get oriented to the buttons on the elevator because I don't usually push elevator buttons. Usually Michelle does those. So I got everybody in, and
Lumi, how come you don't push the buttons?
because Michelle normally does all the pushing.
Okay. So she then that's when her
You'll
left
probably
hand comes out.
notice Michelle types. You'll know sometimes her typing is really whacked out. I think one of us is dyslexic or something because it's like, oh my god, Michelle types and all of a sudden she's got letters flopped around. It's like, I was like, it's really weird. We see Michelle type sometimes, or she'll put vowels in where there isn't one. Like she spells a lot of words for new spelling, and then all of a sudden you got people going, labor, LABOUR, behavior, BEHAVIOUR, neighbor, same way. I
So
mean,
you're
people go, what are you,
you're
English or are you American?
Lumi is constantly correcting Michelle then, or
Right.
tell Michelle like, "Hey, Michelle, you spelled that word wrong. Come on, we got to fix it." Did I
Because
notice?
so when Michelle's typing by herself, it's like, oh, did I spell that right? Did I spell that right? Because if it wasn't for autocorrect, her English would look like gibberish. Because her brain thinks faster than her fingers can hit the keys on the keyboard. Because she's always got the speed of light on in her head. She's always like going zoom. She's always thinking 5 times ahead of me.
We got a question in here. You know what? Beth, Adventures with Beth says, "Tell us about the funny things that have happened between you and Lumi, Michelle and Lumi."
Funny things. Let's think. Well, I think I can't really remember anything specifically that stands out, other than maybe recently, like we said about when Michelle was drunk, and the alcohol didn't affect my side of the body because I wasn't consciously drinking it. And so when Michelle's side of the body starts going limp, and you can kind of hear her slurring her voice, and she's like, and I'm still sober, so the body's kind of like, like one side is like drunk and the other side sober, and that was kind of weird. And then Michelle said, "Oh, Lone, come on, just have a sip of wine. It's not going to kill you." I had some wine. It had a sip or two. It didn't affect me in a bad way. But it was just really weird.
It sounds like Michelle's the party girl.
That's not really the party girl. Michelle normally doesn't drink that much alcohol because her father is an alcoholic. So she's drinking down to a minimum. But it was New Year's Eve, and she figured out why not? Let's get some wine and have some fun, because we had some from Christmas and Thanksgiving. So she drinks some wine. And she had like two coffee mugs of wine. They're about 12-ounce mugs. So,
Michelle did? Holy cow.
Yeah, so we drank the equivalent about 4 wine glasses of wine. Michelle's gotten drunk. She's like, "Ugh." I think the most funniest experience is when Michelle was smoking marijuana, or actually she uses edibles most of the time. She tried smoking too, so it was kind of similar effect.
Okay.
But she's the kind of person that kind of sucks in the pre-roll, and it's like holding it in her mouth, like some people do cigarettes. And of course, we're starting to get to the brain, to the blood, to the vessel, her skin of her mouth. And that didn't really give the same effect as what she did in time. She took 20 milligrams of edible chocolate the first time. And all of a sudden, the whole world went totally weird. And it hit her like a ton of bricks. She was sitting in the kitchen, and she tried to get up. Then she went wham right into the wall, trying to get at the door. And she was like, whoa, where the fuck did the door come? Why did the door move?
You can cuss on here, Michelle. I say fuck, cunt, shit, damn it, anything. So you're more than welcome. And actually, so Beth
it was funny because I was still sober-ish. I say ish because I was influenced too a little bit. And again, I helped Michelle get into the bedroom, lay down. I said, "Now," we're going to see, because time was so slow. Time was dragging on. And we were talking like really slow. And okay, everything was going slow. And I said, "What happens if you count to 10? And it seemed like it took an eternity. While we're watching the second hand of our watch. I said, honey, that ain't no 10 seconds. You just counted about 20 minutes.
Look at that, Bad to the Bone. Hey, Beth, can you drop Michelle and Lumi's link again for me, please? We got some new people that have come in. Bad to the Bone, welcome. I know you've been here a while, but I don't know if anybody's seen her link. She's also on Kick and Twitch and Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it.
I don't understand, yeah, but I'm also on Rumble.
Rumble too, okay. Okay.
And there's NASQ and 𝒯𝒯𝐸𝒲. 𝒯𝒯𝐸𝒲 is my personal account. NASQ is my channel where we mirror all the shows from YouTube. So that way we always have a backup copy. We do have a copy on Odyssey as well. I don't remember what my username on Odyssey is.
Okay. So you're really out there on different platforms, huh?
Yeah.
And
Many
but
different platforms. I'm also on Daily Ocean.
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Been
But
done anything on there lately, so
this is actually the first time. Not the first time. I take that back. Let me reword that. So this is
this is
we're trying
also
to.
on MySpace. Yes.
Oh Jesus.
Still on
MySpace.
MySpace,
Wow.
yes. And my MySpace account is still valid and still active.
Oh jeez.
It
But
is.
what I
They
was
still
going
have
to ask
MySpace.
was your other shows. You never really talked about the paranormal, and that's what you want to start doing now too, right?
Right.
Let
I want to start giving it on my channel too. We used to talk about it, and then when we started doing the live shows, it kind of went by the wayside. And me and Michelle both kind of agreed it would be better to get back into it now because it really feels like it's the right time. Now that we're going into 5D Earth. Because Michelle's also Pleiadian Star Child, as am I.
look at that. You got some new subscribers. Thank you guys for doing that.
Yeah.
Thank you. You guys, yeah, definitely. Michelle does have a documentary. If somebody could get that and drop it, I would really appreciate that. That's one I forgot to grab. And
Get the documentary link, guys. Just go to my channel. It's right there, right in one on the About section. Or whatever
so
they call the About section these days. Which I think is just
thank
there.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, PK. Another thing, I definitely want to plan this with Michelle. I don't know if it's going to be this year, hopefully next year, but there is some, because you guys know me, I'm like off the wire shit, right?
No,
Yeah.
not you.
Well, Michelle and I have been talking. She needs to do, update her documentary.
Right.
And I would love to do this for Michelle and Lumi. And what we've been talking about, you guys, and yes, you're going to say, oh my God, Emmy's fucking crazy. Or they're like, yep, that's something Emmy would do. So I would fly to where she lives, to her state.
Right.
We would do an interview with her one day and then Lumi the next. But the other thing is, she's never really traveled. And I don't like, I've never really traveled on a train that long. So I'm willing to travel back to Oregon on a train with Michelle and document all of that for her.
That'd be pretty cool.
What do you guys think in chat? You think that's something we should do? It'd be
Yeah.
cool, huh? And another thing a lot of people don't know about you, and because you're like, oh my God, I mean, you are male and female, right? But you're mainly the female.
Well,
You're
technically, my spiritual self is a masculine soul. My soul's a feminine soul. The body is hermaphrodite, which means it's intersex. It's both.
right.
It's got both male and female abilities and secondary sex characteristics. So it's kind of interesting. The body is built specifically for a male and female soul. I have played female souls in my life, and I'm terrible at it. Michelle's played male souls and was terrible at it for male life. So it's like, well, why don't we make a body that can be both? And so we talked to Mother God in the early years before we came here. And we said we want to incarnate together in a hermaphroditic body. And Mother God said, well, that's fine, but Michelle's body is going to be Michelle's soul. This is her main time. But if Michelle agrees to have you move in voluntarily, we'll make the body hermaphroditic, leave that extra room for Michelle's brain for another soul. If she agrees to want you to move in, you guys move in together, and that's it. That's what we've been together since Beltane. And it's been a heck of a good compromise. It worked out great for everybody.
Hey, Michelle, you have another question. You've got a lot of fans coming in. Carol Garcia said, could Michelle please describe karma?
Karma basically adds up to everything that you've done that's good and bad. Because remember, the universe wants karma to be neutral. So when you have karma that's neutral, where you're focusing on providing a positive energy, which is good karma, which is ideal. You help other people, you're a blessing to everybody. That causes your karma to be more positive energy. Whereas if you do wrong and voluntarily do wrong, that's a key word. Voluntarily. Remember, you have a free will.
Right.
That causes your karma to go down. Kind of like alignment in some games. Okay. So if you do harm, the universe doesn't like that. So it's going to try to make it right. So you can receive punitive actions against you to try to help you see ways and try to make things right. So karma is, and then of course there's something called residual karma. If there are things that you didn't purge yourself or make right in your last life, they kind of remain over on this life. So not only do you have to worry about things in this life that you've done wrong, but you got to think about the things in your past life that you did wrong. And so the idea is you want to try to live a good life as best you can, so you don't have to carry that baggage from your past life into this one.
Right. Hey, Lumi, I'll ask you this. Who's more demanding, you or Michelle?
Well, Michelle's a Virgo. She's pretty hardcore demanding, but usually Michelle will sometimes compromise in some cases.
Okay.
I'm a little more laid back because I'm your typical Aquarian. I'm not really into being so precise and perfect, whereas Michelle is like, everything has to be perfect for her. Everything.
Oh.
Now, let's reverse those questions. Let's reverse those questions and ask Michelle the same question.
There you go. Michelle, who's more demanding, you or Lumi?
I would say probably me, because like I've been a Virgo in many, many lives, and I'm your typical Virgo personality that wants perfection and everything, sometimes to a big fault, or I could even be very self-critical of my own thoughts. Like, oh, I didn't do that good enough, or my spelling's wrong, or that word's not what I meant to use, it don't fit the sentence. Or like an audio equipment, like there's too much AC hum in the sound. There's got to be a ground loop problem somewhere. And that's where, like, if you ever come in our studio, you'll notice we have a whole huge collection of duplicates of everything. We have duplicate mixers, duplicate monitors, duplicate turntables, extra spare parts on hand in case something breaks. Because we want our show to be perfect. And we can't tolerate imperfection. I can't stand it,
Right.
But with my eyesight, though, sometimes it's kind of problematic because I'm not always that perfect, because I had to learn to realize, well, their eyesight, you may not see that dirt in the corner, but then again, they say, well, if I can't see it, then I guess it's good enough then,
Okay, how
But for
about
me,
this?
the biggest thing is learning to say good enough, especially when people volunteer and they try really hard to do a good job. Like Ray did a very good job on the floor for a first timer.
Oh, yeah. Tell people. Well, actually, I want to ask you a question before we get into your kitchen. Who is a better cook, Michelle or Lumi, or even a baker? Who likes to cook more?
Well, when we had gas stove in my last apartments, I tend to do a lot of cooking. But it's just me and Lumi, so a lot of times it's more like shake and bake.
Okay, yeah.
Throw something in the oven at 350, bake it for 30 minutes, and then dinner's served. So it's not like I'm going out there cooking a 5-course meal, but I certainly do like watching a lot of cooking shows when I had a TV license. I used to watch like the Food Network and the Cooking Channel, and I enjoyed watching Worst Cooks in America and Cutthroat Kitchen, and I just enjoy watching those kind of shows and try experimenting with things when I had extra money on hand. But one of the things I kind of dread is having to wash all the dishes afterwards, which is something that's essential for every cook.
Right. Right.
Is if you mess it up, you got to wash it, right? So because I'm on a fixed income, a lot of times, as I said, most of the time I cook, it's mostly shake and bake.
Yeah. Okay. Gidget's even saying she loves cooking shows. There's another question I was going to ask with my damn brain. Like,
Yeah.
go ahead, Howard. Ask Michelle or Lumi. You got it. Oh, Michelle also has a store too, a merch store. So you guys definitely go to her page. Beth has been dropping her links and check out her merch
At the
store.
web store, guys. We do have the cups, like the Silver Moon cup I'm using right now. This is available in our store right now. No one has bought these cups. I'm surprised.
I'm going to
We've
have to
had
check
these
it
cups
out.
now since we began the store on Teespring, and nobody buys their cups. We also got the China ones too. Yeah, we had the regular China cups. But with my cat and the fact that things spill, on the table, if it was a cup, it was like there's coffee in this one, by the way. If it was a spill on the table, yes, it does dribble a little bit. But it definitely means that my cat knocks us over. It's not going to have one big flood all over my table.
So I out on the wire says LOL. I like how Michelle says TV license. So that wasn't Michelle. That was Lumi talking, right?
No, that was me talking.
Oh, it was you? Okay, I thought it was Lumi. My bad.
I did also kind of join in when I said Michelle doesn't have a TV license because she don't have access to any of the networks.
That was you, or that was Lumi.
Closest thing to a TV license is like if you have cable or satellite dish.
Right.
She ended up giving that up in 2016, so she hasn't had a TV set working since 2016 in November.
Wow. Gidget's like, you'll learn the difference.
If I didn't have a TV, maybe I wouldn't be munching food around the TV as much, but that didn't work out that way. But there's one thing I love. I love the United Kingdom. I love England. I love Scotland. I don't remember going to Wales. The few past lives that me and Scottish Stacy talked about in the past was we worked in the Scottish Highlands. And so I have lives experience of working in castles in the kitchen. That, again, makes sense with the cooking past. The cooking always interested me, even then.
Howard's like, yeah, and like I was saying, we were holding anywhere from, just jump from 49 to 51 people in here. And you guys, we're going to do a series of these. We just can't get it all in one day. And Michelle and Lumi both have so much knowledge out there. Actually, Michelle and I were talking, and she was jerry-rigging something, and she goes, yeah, just spit and duct tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
My microphone was patched together. Not my microphone, my trackball. The original cord on this thing broke off some time ago. This here's the original cord. And it's splicing on the end with a new plug from another USB cable. And at the time, I had to make a patch. Just like Angus MacGyver, I just had some saliva and some duct tape and just wires together and just plugged it back in. It was working good for quite a while, but then the wires came loose again. I had some heat shrink tubing and the soldering workstation. I said, let's fix this the right way this time. So it takes fingers of a neurosurgeon to do wiring like that. And I managed to get it together. And it's been working since. And when it comes to Michelle fixing stuff, she is the bomb. She knows how to fix all kinds of small parts. She even changed the battery in her watch, too.
Okay, so this is another question. You both are legally blind, but you can barely, you can see something. How do you do such minor things, like the tedious little tiny things? How do
I
you
get very close, and sometimes I use a magnifying glass, and the funniest thing is when I'm soldering, not just so you'll see my hairs get singed off. Because it gets so close to the soldering iron as I'm putting solder on teeny tiny wires.
Okay, let me ask you this: do you wear? No, Howard's not ignoring your questions, Nike. Hold on. Do you wear? I hope you wear safety glasses, or no? Tell me you do.
I don't. But I have to. So when I was making when I made the PC case mod for to put an ATX motherboard into a PC case, so it's an AT case. I had to cut the back for the back plane goes on ATX case with a grinder. I didn't have a bench grinder or an angle grinder, so I put a grinding disc with a mandrel into my drill. Talk about Angus MacGyver. Oh yeah, definitely Angus MacGyver style. So obviously, protect my hearing from the noise and also protect my eyesight from the flying debris. I had a pair of safety squints, full-size safety goggles, and I wore these same headphones to protect my hearing as I'm cutting through steel. My drill was very tired after that. I can tell you that. But it survived. I survived, and it worked out fine in the end. So it was really good to get that job done. And then I put the old ATX motherboard into the case. I changed off the power supply. I replaced the power switch with the appropriate ATX push button. And so it looks like a Gateway 2000, but it's got a Pentium Celeron motherboard inside. We even wore USB jacks on the front, too. Yes, we did.
So you use also a Mac computer, huh?
I'm a Mac user, right?
Yeah.
I actually have two current machines are Macs. I have a 2009 Mac Pro, and I have a 2019 M1 Mac Mini, which I'm on right now.
A 2009 Mac Pro, and that's still running after all these years.
Yep, it's still running. It's got a single quad-core Xeon processor running at 3.33 gigahertz, 32 gigabytes of ECC RAM. I won't go into all the details, but just say it's still being upgraded as I use it every day for playing Turtle WoW when I do play. And it was this computer on this desk for several years. And then we have the Mac Mini now, which is nice because it's small and sips electricity, where the thing guzzles it like beer, like an alcoholic drinking beer, which is amazing to think about. But yeah, I like the Mac a lot. To say that much, I like Macs a lot better than PCs.
And you do your own repairs, don't you? When it comes to the very fine work, like you were talking about, like the soldering, and I can't even solder.
If you're on a fixed budget, and I mean, you have to do what you got to do. I mean, you have to repair your own stuff.
Yeah, you want to repair your stuff, especially when you're on low income, because buying brand new stuff when it breaks is not always an option.
No.
And think about it. Closest example is what happened on Apollo 13, right? They had to find a way to get the power going to the ship after the fuel cell failed, and so they managed to move everybody to the lunar lander, and then they realized they detached the main capsule off, and then they all went back in the lunar lander to Earth, but there was not enough power to run the computer, the HEC. So the one pilot had no choice but basically hot dog it and just basically fly the seat of his pants, literally. Yeah. That's kind of like me with the stuff I do here. Sometimes I have no choice. Failure is not an option. So if my trackball is crapping out or something and I don't have a spare, I have to make it work anyway. Just like Angus MacGyver kind of thing, And that's what I do. Because I don't have money to always replace things when they break, or I don't have the option of waiting for them to come in by delivery.
Right. Wow. I'm so blown away with the person who Michelle, you don't let your disabilities get in your way, do you?
She's totally amazing. She is.
Not only that, Michelle also loves languages too.
Wait, what, Lumi?
Michelle loves languages. She likes different languages.
How many languages does
she kind of read a lot of French? Well, it makes sense. I was French in a prior lifelong. So yes. Somebody thought fun, and they decided to start sending me French email and spam mail, and I was reading it, and Louis said, "You could read French?" I said, "Yep." And I can't speak it to save my butt, but I can read it.
You can read it? Wow.
Michelle can also read Latin, too. Yeah. I'm very ability to read, even if it's more like basic Latin. I can read some Latin as well. I can't read Greek, but that's because the alphabet, the Greek alphabet's a little bit of a challenge to get my head around. But yes, I can read Latin. I can read French. I can certainly read Spanish. So I can read some Portuguese, which makes sense. I listen a lot of Carmen Miranda. Yeah.
Okay, since you read, do you use Braille when you read, or do you put everything up
I also
close?
know Braille. At least I remember most. Oh, my grade 1. I don't remember too much grade 2. I did go learn that from Marcus Enterprises for the Blind. As I said, I prepared for the day I lose my sight, which may or may not happen. Let's hope you don't. At least you can read it.
Yeah, let's pray it doesn't happen. Now, another question is, you are North America's ice queen. Hence,
Snow
you got
Queen.
Snow Queen, and you got the ears. Can you explain to people about your ears? Because those are so amazing.
These are blood elf ears. Let me take my headset off so you guys can see them. These are my ears. Similar to what my real ears look like on the other side. They're kind of similar to this. These are my blood elf ears. When I come back to go to Silver Moon, those are the ears that are going to be real ears that are touching my real body. And these ears, I wear them 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. When I have ears to wear.
Wow.
Right?
I'm just blown away on this.
Yeah. Well, let me take a quick bathroom break, and I'm right back.
Yep.
Okay.
Everybody, take a break. Go get a drink.
Right back.
You guys, thank you so much for being here. This has been an amazing event with Michelle. Still holding 47 people in here. That's both that is both YouTube and Facebook. So yeah, you guys, you know what I noticed? I'm going to ask her too, if you guys remind me. A lot of times I see her play with the fidget toy. Am I right, TK or Gidgy? I'm not seeing her playing with a fidget toy. I think she feels really comfortable with all of you.
Yeah, it's not the typical stream that I usually do anyway. So
no, or me, but you know what? We accept everybody, right?
Yep. We do.
Yes. So Gidgy, I'm correct, right? She's not using a fidget toy. Wow.
Yep. Gidgy comes from UT. She's a sorority girl from UT.
That's what you guys are talking about.
Hell yeah.
You're right, Gemini. She's in her element, and wow. Oh yeah. She loves to dance. Where is she from? I'll let her answer that when she gets back. She loves to dance. She sings too. You know, Gidgy, I love you all so much. Y'all are a great community. So happy to be here. Thank you for being here.
Don't judge you because of that. No, look, girl, I'll come from LSU. That's a party college. I mean, that's all we did.
Beth, yes, she is. She's very intriguing. She really is. And you're right, Spitfire. There's been no drama or anything that's been here. Things that have happened have been going behind the scenes. So we're just keeping her safe up here on the panel with us. How much hearing does she have? That's another good question. I don't know. I mean, I know this is going to be a multiple of interviews because there's just so much. And Howard, let me ask you. So, what was your first impression when you first met Michelle? Like,
I was kind of put off because I've seen people scam. I've seen people. God, I've been doing this thing in the paranormal field for 40 years, and this to me, she's legit. I find her amazing. I mean, after a few minutes with her, and I'm just like, who am I talking to now? You know, it's like,
yeah, like you said, the voice, you'll hear the voices change, and sometimes like I thought it was Lumi that said, the TV license, because it sounded like it said Michelle needs a TV license, so you got to jump in and be quick. Here she comes.
Yep.
Okay. I just remembered a funny story for you.
Okay.
There was first time my landlord met Lumi. It was because she was accusing me and saying I had somebody else living in my apartment when I didn't. And so he was ragging at me, and I told him, "Do you want to know who I've been living with?" I told him, "She's been living with me, asshole." And he said, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm 𝐼𝒩𝒯𝐻 I'm Michelle's wife, and Michelle's my wife." And ever since that, and he started trying to copy at you, and I said, "Listen, buddy, Michelle's told you the truth. There's no other physical body living in that apartment. It's just me and her at the time. Nobody else." And ever
Okay.
since that time, he's treating Michelle better because he now knows that Michelle has another body that she shares the body with. When it comes
Right.
to people getting under people's grill, I'm the one who will usually speak up on Michelle's behalf. Because I don't want to see my wife getting emotionally treated badly by anybody. Really not.
You know, I do have a question before I forget, because I noticed after you walked away and several other people, you know what I'm finding amazing right now? Normally you have a fidget toy with you,
What's the
and
number?
you normally have a fidget toy with you when you're on your stream, and I noticed you haven't been playing with it on mine.
I'm always
That
fighting with something. This is
yeah,
a
but
real.
you have Michelle, you haven't been playing with it since we've been live, an hour and a half, and
No,
you
we
know
have.
that
I have been fiddling around with it in my other hand here. Michelle hasn't. But
not
yeah.
like we normally see, like you'll pick it up, put it close to your eyes. So, and Gemini Gem said because you're in your element. Is that how you feel? I hope so.
Um. I feel like I'm in my element, absolutely, and also I don't feel like I'm in a situation where I don't know what to expect. At least here, I have a good idea what to expect. And the kind of conversation, the questions are not exactly uncomfortable to me at all. That
Right.
makes a big difference. Whereas on the morning shows, which are a lot better now than what they used to be, the reason why we gave up the night shows, a lot of the audience may or may not know, was we had some of the worst trolls on YouTube, as far as I could tell.
We
And
still do.
they were always trying to rip me a new asshole. And it was causing a lot of emotional distress. And so I started to suffer from depression. I went to therapy for a couple months, and I was able to begin to heal and get my life back. And then last year, I had Ed here, and the night shows, he'd be in a corner drinking his alcohol, getting drunk, and yelling and screaming at me. And the phone calls, and he was oh, I had enough of that. I said, screw the phone calls because
Right.
I don't feel ready for those. And then finally, when Ed got out of here, can't believe it was that long ago. It
I'm
was
just saying,
about
you trolls out there, you guys
right.
are fucking assholes. Seriously, if you don't like what you see or hear, walk
Yeah,
away. Just fucking walk
right. I
away.
agree that they should just walk away or just passively listen.
Yeah.
But they weren't. They were being encouraged by people in Kiwi Farms and 4chan and 8chan. And
Disrupting everything.
so it really didn't feel like the night shows are going well for me. 2017 was 18, 19, 19, 17, 18, 19, I would say were the worst from a show, especially 18 to 19. Uh, and when I told her, I said, it's
Keep
time
talking. I'll be right back. Keep talking.
give up the night shows because it's really emotionally killing you. And Michelle said, makes sense to me. And so we stopped taking the phone calls and we stopped doing the panels with the public panels because there was a couple people that were ruining it for everybody. But Michelle, after the COVID-19, was like, oh, I want to go ahead still have, because we can't do the coffee show at the Soup Kitchen anymore because the Soup Kitchen is no longer allowing people to dine in. And so Lumi said, well, why don't you have a virtual coffee hour here, on your channel? And that's how the morning shows came to be a thing. That's because we started meeting here on the morning show for the coffee time from 10 to 12 Eastern time.
I did notice one thing we talked before the show came on, that we're born on the same year. Michelle and I.
What's that?
We're in 1968.
Yeah. That's when I was born. Yep.
I think that's awesome. That's a good year. That's a good year.
That was a good year. It was a year right before me in 1969 landed on the moon. Unfortunately, now I was too young to know anything about that.
Right. Right.
Trust me, I didn't actually really remember much of my early years of my life. I don't think I'm a walking soul. No, but you know, that's a good question. Why does Michelle not remember the first 2 years of her life? I'm not the only one that has that.
I think everyone has that problem pretty much.
Yeah. It's interesting, no.
Yeah. I see that you're also into a lot of the space travel.
Yeah. I'm definitely into space travel on the physical and the metaphysical form.
Actually, Michelle is not two personalities. She's two souls in one body.
Right.
Right.
In fact, it's been diagnosed by the mental health field as it does not meet the multiple personality disorder and the DSM-5. In fact, talking to multiple therapists, they said you don't have NPD or identity disorder. Okay, if we were to call you a diagnosis, I would say you have an identity order, which is not even in the DSM-5. So it means you don't have anything that's considered a mental illness, but you do get a little bit of depression and you do get a little bit of anxiety. That's right.
Who doesn't have a little bit of depression and anxiety?
Exactly.
That's the way I look at it. Who doesn't have a little bit of depression and anxiety? And now, in this generation, with this time, I mean,
absolutely.
We just come out of COVID and everything else, and then.
Thank you, Johnny, for asking the questions. No, it's you got to go back and watch the beginning of the stream, and then you'll get to understand Michelle and stuff like that. But we are going to have different, or I can't even talk. I can't even think because my head. We are going to have a series of these, and we're going to learn so much more about Michelle.
Yeah.
So I was figuring we'll probably stay on about another 10 more minutes.
To PDF, since she's not feeling completely perfectly well, if she wants to do this in several shows, we can do that in several shows.
Well, there's so much about you, Michelle, and Lumi. Like, I mean, from your vinyl collection to doing such tedious. Love you, Lucas. He's leaving. My nephew. Tedious work. The computers. You just you've redone your pretty much your somebody came in and did your kitchen floor, right?
Yeah. My friend did that for me. He didn't have any experience doing that, so he made a couple mistakes. And I was like, okay, that's okay. It looks better than what used to be there. I had no problem with it.
But you've also built your own studio too, huh? You have a camera here.
Yeah, my studio. Let me just switch the screen up so you guys can see that.
You have a camera in a different room.
This is the main studio. They have 2 monitors, and you can probably see, maybe not, you can see a little box above my monitor there that's showing every time that Emmy or Howard talk, it comes up here so I can read what you guys are saying.
Right.
And I have a microphone there. I got a microphone here. I lost my windscreen again. Oh, we know where it is. It's probably on the floor somewhere. That's okay. We'll find it later. Anyway, so, and we have the 2 turntables for Silver Moon Radio here. Here's one, and here's the other one. And then we have the mixer board for that. And then there's the master mixing board over in the other part of the room, which is on the other side desk there. It runs all the microphones and the sub mixer. And let's see if it's snowing outside. Let me look. There's a tree. I don't see snow yet outside, guys. No. So this is a Christmas tree right here.
Yeah, that's the other room.
And so we have it all set up. We also have a camera in the bedroom too, but that's not directly connected to this computer, so you can't directly.
He's going camera shot. You got to forgive Howard sometimes. He thinks with the wrong head.
We even
Hey,
have
so
one in the kitchen too. We have one in the kitchen. It's called, not last year, but the year before. We started a live stream in the kitchen when it was cooking turkey at 4 in the morning. I'm not sure why he actually cooked in the 4 in the morning. I think he thought it was going to save time, but I don't think it really mattered because we just ate early and then we ended up going to sleep early.
hey, Terry Charms, welcome. So I got a question. Actually, it's not my question. I can't remember his name up here. I think he was. Anyways, somebody had asked. Well, and I'm curious too. How do you know Lumi's
that?
not an attachment? Or what's the difference between two souls and having an attachment? Does that make
Well,
sense?
let's put it this way: two souls work together. It's not like one's a parasitic leech. That's right. The two souls work together as a team. Just like in this case, just like husband and wife or wife and wife.
And what's an attachment?
Think of like a flea attaches to a dog.
Man,
That's
good
an
analogy.
attachment. And unless the dog says to the flea, "Come on over and hang on me," I don't care. Most people with this dog will probably say to the flea, "Get off me, you little mangy bloodsucker! Come on, get off me!"
Yes, Michelle and Lumi have been married since you said March of 2011.
May
May.
2011.
Okay, I get confused. I don't even know my birthday half the time. Oh yeah. This too. So
Yeah.
she walked up 3 flights of stairs every time she leaves her apartment.
Right. I don't know
Wow.
why Michelle always chooses the top floor of a building. Every apartment she had has always been on the top floor.
You don't try to persuade her, Lumi, to be on a lower level?
No, because if Michelle actually lived in the lower floor, she'd probably be even fatter than she is now. The stairs are keeping her fit and healthy.
Oh, that's straight up the way to put it, you know?
Michelle's been trying to work on her weight, guys. She's just naturally a big person because this body's built for two. So obviously,
Right.
it's just built stockier.
Thank you, Dawn. Yeah, please come back and stuff. Yeah, we're gonna even Bad to Bones, she's like going, sorry y'all gotta run. Shoveling before it gets deeper. Yeah, she's got snow. She's in Massachusetts. But I definitely want to I got 3 minutes, so you guys, Howard, you got any more questions for her?
No, I'm good. I mean, I'm gonna just keep watching and see. And we got to get her on the Facebook side. We have to
Yes.
get her on the Facebook side. So we're gonna be working on that.
We
getting
got to
her
promote
on-
the Facebook channel for Michelle. We also need
Yep.
to continue to promote her Kick channel.
Oh yeah.
She still needs a few more subs to get to the minimum of 85 to become an affiliate, guys. Because
We can do
Michelle's
that.
wanting to get her affiliate and face on the Kick so she can actually have memberships on Kick as well.
Yeah, and and the reason why Lumi is saying that too is because Michelle is on a fixed income. But look at all the amazing stuff she does being on that fixed income, and every little bit helps from the YouTube
Absolutely.
and everything. So you also got a PayPal too, right? But you don't
What's that?
actually promote that out there. I'm just saying, if you go to her page, if you guys want to help donate, that helps her keep stuff running. But otherwise, just sub to
Absolutely.
her.
If you go to my channel, you'll see all the ways to donate. And we'd love to have you subscribe. It definitely would help if we can get you guys to join us on our
Yeah.
Patreon page. Let me get to that link screen right here, which is also on the Silver Moon Radio screen right there. And we'd love to have you guys come. You can see the Patreon address anyway. It says www.patreon.com/BICHELA. We're only getting about $3.75 right now for donations. And I really would like to see us bring home about $30 a month on Patreon at least. We do Silver Moon Radio shows. We put the replays there so you can watch them. You got even the very first of Silver Moon Radio shows are there. So if you want to hear how Silver Moon Radio got started, that's where you can find it. And if you want to hear briefly the history of Silver Moon, I can play that for you right now because they shouldn't give me copyright strike. It's up to you. But
Yeah,
anyway,
how long is it, Michelle?
maybe under a minute.
Okay, let's do it. You
All
guys don't
right,
mind?
let's do
And
it.
Bad to the
Here it
Bone said, I think Michelle is very, very sane. I agree with you.
is from our Silver Moon show, which is our sign off on Silver Moon Radio. The story how AM 1610 Silver Moon Radio came to be. 300 years after Earth sacked Questless and the Eversong Woods, a multi-generational spacecraft from the Terran solar system crash-landed in the coastlands. Facing the scourge and having many injured, these humans were outnumbered and needed help. Fortunately, a group of Cinderai
I was reading
came
this
to
from
the
the script, by the
rescue,
way, I wrote.
Right.
helping to keep the crew of the crashed ship safe while assisting with humanitarian aid. The human crew, having no way to return to Earth, befriended the Cinderai, and with the approval of the Council of Mages, offered their assistance in the area of technology and the advancement of science to aid in rebuilding of Questless. Being this was a large multi-generational ship, the remaining 36 survivors gave much of their personal belongings to Questless as a gift, one of which was a very large, extensive musical library. There was one simple stipulation: it was to be shared among all. Thus, with the consent of the Magister of Communications, Silver Moon Radio AM 1610 was created. Located in the palace in Silver Moon City, this radio station can be heard throughout the Eastern Kingdoms, transmitting at 15,100 watts. It was the first radio station on Azeroth. This also created a market for AM radio receivers. Silver Moon City and the Cinderai are the major manufacturer of this equipment, along with transmitters, mixing consoles, and musical playback equipment for LPs, CDs, and MP3s.
Right.
There you go, guys. That's what it sounds like.
I think
So-
it's very interesting.
I love talking with Michelle. If I catch her in the mornings, because she is 3 hours ahead of me, I go up on our panel and I can listen to her talk for hours because I learn new things from her. So,
I think morning shows are kind of fun for me because in some ways it's kind of like a pep rally for me when I first get up too. Because it's like I'm trying to impart positive vibrations into the community itself, and I think people like that.
yes, they do. So, you guys, we're going to call it a night, but I want to thank each and every one of you for showing up. We're still ending with 42 people in the house. That's both on YouTube and Facebook side. Beth has been dropping the links in there. No, she doesn't live in the UK. She actually goes early in the morning. She has a lot of UK followers and stuff. And you guys, yes, look at this. Terry just really came in here kind of. She goes, I like the positive vibrations.
I would also like to say that I would like to see some of the prior people that kind of came on long ago and had bad vibes because of the bad people. The ones that really did were good people that wanted to come back. Like Bubba Warbucks. I'd love to have Bubba Warbucks come back. He was an electronics engineer, a retired TV engineer. And I absolutely would love to have Bubba Warbucks come back to the show. I just said happy Christmas to him on my Patreon page, but maybe we can get Bubba Warbucks to come back on the morning show.
That'd be
That
cool.
would be so awesome.
That would definitely be cool. And so what Howard and I have been talking about is getting her on the Paralinks, because she has a set show. Your show's what, at 9 a.m.? I could be wrong.
Right.
9 a.m. and that's on the YouTube side. But every day she goes live. She is so committed to this and stuff. And every day is a different subject. You learn more and more about her. But the paranormal side, I definitely want to get to know more about her too. And I hope you guys do too. So Michelle, any last words before I drop you down?
I wanted to say thank you very much for having me on the show, and I'm hoping that we'll continue to work together on this. There's a lot of things in my background to go through, and things that we can share with people from my viewpoint.
Okay.
And I just want to say
I
thank
love
you
you.
for having me on your show.
Oh, it's been an honor to have you up here. It really has. So I'm
Thank
going to
you.
drop you down for a minute in the basement. You stay, and then Howard, what do you want to say?
I say I got some Nike. I couldn't talk about myself. This is not about me. This is about someone else. I've done some interviews already, so you can catch me on some other stuff. If you got questions or anything, just let me know. Come over to the Facebook side. You could same name. You could follow me, and you can send me a message, and that way, and I know who you are. Anybody. So we're always welcome. Also, Paralinks Network is actually we're open right now for taking in new shows. We have 5 channels. We're filling up fast. And there's never enough podcasts, never. And we're always try to make room for everybody, and you can have your own broadcast whenever you want, or you can set a fixed time. So yeah, and it doesn't necessarily have to be paranormal.
No.
So we're looking at different shows for different things. So yeah, join us, and we'd be. That was you, huh?
That was
Yeah.
me. Yeah, I typed on this side so it pops up.
But yeah, you come on and pitch your show over to us, and then see which we can make room for you or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's absolutely free.
Free is a very good price, and I've noticed a lot of people have been merging over and coming
Yes,
in
I
and
have.
talking.
Yes, I
I've
have.
sent people your way, and that's okay, Jenna. Other people have been sent your way, so thank you, Howard, for having us and doing this. And I want to thank you for last minute for coming up here and being my other host, because
Yeah, you look like shit. You look
I
like
do.
shit. You sound.
I
Well, you don't
do.
look like shit, but you sound like shit.
Yeah, and so I do appreciate it. And Michelle is so sweet. She was even like, we can do an hour today, and I'm like, no, I wanted to really hit that 2-hour mark, but
Ain't
an
nothing
hour.
free, Terry. Yeah, Terry, this is free.
It's
I
free.
can
You
guarantee
don't have to pay nothing at all. So I'm going to drop you down, Howard. You're going to stay down there, and I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so everybody in chat, you know what? We're still ending with 40 people in chat. I want to thank you guys for coming and joining us. Please definitely follow Michelle and stuff like that. Oh no, hold on. Okay, so definitely give Michelle a follow. And wow, and the trolls. Again, if you don't like what we're saying, just walk away. I've turned over this year. I said I wasn't going to harass anybody, talk to I'm just done. I'm done. I want to move forward. I want to do positive things. How do we find her? Oh, Beth, can you drop over on Facebook side? I totally forgot about the Facebook side. Please, Beth. I'm so sorry. So you guys definitely give her a follow, and she's a positive person. She wants to bring positive light to everybody too. So, you guys, thank you so much, and till next time. And next time, you guys, I want you to be, have questions ready, because now you know who Michelle and Lumi is. So definitely. But until we meet again, you guys, thanks for being here. Peace.